everybody. People keep asking me, Eric, how do you get such terrific hair, such fantastic hair? And I say it's real easy. I just drink lots of San Pellegrino, nearly flavorless water, and the hair starts falling out, just like that, big old clumps. And I keep drinking it, and the hair keeps coming out. So if you want to have hair like this, San Pellegrino. Which is made of water and carbon dioxide, which gives it the bubbliness, and just little tiny hints of sugar. Basically, there is sugar in it. It's 0 calories, but there's a tiny little bit of sugar and flavor. It's just not enough that it would contribute even 1 calorie if I drank this whole drink. Alright. Okay, I'm making a game. It's called the Godkiller. And I'm getting close to a nice moment. So close. I'm getting to the point where I do not have to give this explanation anymore. And the explanation is that there was an old project where a lot more was working, then it broke. And I had problems fixing it. And I said, let's make a new project. Let's copy everything over, get it working in the new project. So close to having all of that done. I'm going to demo what I did yesterday. What I did yesterday was extremely dangerous. I upgraded Unity. I upgraded it so that I could get just a very small thing, which by my calculations is not actually that small. It ends up adding around 5 weeks of work, whether or not I have this or not. And I actually did the math to figure that out. So in the old version of Unity, which came out maybe beginning of the year, something like that, it didn't have this feature called toggle grid snapping. And what would happen, I'll turn it off so I can show you, is that I would take a floor, well, I mean anything really, any prefab I would take and put on the ground, and even if I held down the option key, it would not snap it, right? So it would just drop it. And you can see over here in the inspector that the position is not right on the meter. It's not on whole unit increments. So that would mean that every object that I placed in the scene, I would have to do something like 56, 4, -4, and then after it was set like that, then I could, well, then I could hold down the command key and drag it around. Now occasionally I would forget to hold down on the command key, and then I'd have to redo the movement. I didn't even do the calculation for that, but that would have added, some extra time, maybe an extra week of just like, oh, I moved it, but I forgot to hold on the command key. Let's undo and try it again, but this time I'll do it the right way with snapping. Okay, but that first thing was definitely a time killer, because I would place it, and then either I'd have to come over here, or I'd have to come up to the grid and snap settings in the menu and click on a button which no longer exists in this version of Unity to align all the objects on the snap grid. In this version of Unity, I just click that toggle button, which isn't there in 2019.1.x, and suddenly everything is snapping. Snap, snap, snap. And more than just that, if I place something like right in the middle there, the old snapping behavior, holding down the Option key after placing, would not snap it to the nearest even number or snap unit. It would just apply the interval. So like I would drag this holding the Option key down, and it would go from 56.5 to 35 whatever to 55.523. It wouldn't. So, but this way, just I just drag it a little bit and it's done. It's placed. And the game really does need everything to be placed on snaps. So that's done. But I say that it's dangerous to upgrade Unity. It definitely is. This is an upgrade that I did from 2.19.1 to 2.19.4, and I predicted ahead of time this would happen. I don't know what would break, but some stuff would break. And yep, 3 or 4 things broke. I fixed them all yesterday. At the end of it, I was like, phew, glad I got through that relatively unscathed. So, what's left to, as it says up in the top of the screen, make me whole? To make this new level whole. To make it so that it represents the same functionality I had in the old project, but not broken. It's post-processing, and then bringing in the old levels. I'm going to do one of those things in this session, which is a weekday session where I have less time. I'm going to do the post-processing. The post-processing makes the scene pretty. It makes it render a lot more nicely. I'll open up the old project, and you'll be able to see that. Now, this would be the first time I open the old project with the new version of Unity. It's already broken though, so I mean, I'm just going to break it some more maybe. But I need to open up the old project anyways, because what I want to do is see how the settings are for post-processing on the old project and recreate them in the new project. And I can't really tell in the new project because like because why? There was some problems, like maybe it was I hadn't installed the post-processing yet in the IDE, and then it wouldn't let me open it up and look at it. Maybe that's it. If that's the case, I'm probably going to run into a similar problem over here on the old project. Anyways, at least I'll open the old project and you'll be able to see maybe what the scene is supposed to look like when it's rendering with the post-processing effects. I suppose it's not the smartest thing in the world to make a spurious claim against a company that's got brands and products that it wants to protect. So I will retract my statement that San Pellegrino seltzer water causes hair loss. I will retract it. I won't say that it definitely does not, because I don't know that. It might cause hair loss, but I'll say I have no evidence to make me believe that San Pellegrino seltzer water causes hair loss. Okay. It looks like I've really broken this now. And I'm kind of proud of myself for breaking it so badly. Lost all references to the textures, or maybe the materials. So I think I will leave it for this weekend to get these old levels into the new project. I'm looking at these levels inside of the old project. It's severely broken. That's fine. I won't be able to use this as an example of what the post-processing is supposed to look like. Actually, maybe a small example. Alright, here's a texture that's not broken. So there's a bloom effect around this guy right here. This is really a terrible way to try to show you. Really terrible. But, okay, so if I click this guy, oh, apparently I don't have Pro Builder installed on this version. Okay. Hold on. Let me just give you one good example. Just one good example. Give myself one good example, because I may need to come look at it as a reference. Okay. So up to the top of all these videos, these are all the new project ones. So I got to go back, I think at least 3 months. Okay, now we're back down at 6 months. Oh, creepy. Time's going by way too fast for me. So I was actually working on this 5 months ago. Oh, I've totally lost track of time. And this 6 months ago. This is still new project stuff. Well, this is during the hiatus, more or less. Okay, so I gotta go back. Really 7 months to see the old game in the old engine. Wow, I had not ever stop and actually figure out that's where I was at. So long ago. Wow. Okay. So I'm going to play my own video. Change to a scene, it will redo all the lighting calculations, and they look a lot nicer. It would be really silly if YouTube flagged this as some kind of copyright violation when it's my own video, but who knows. Actually, I think I played my own videos before and it was fine. So let me see. Tell me I went full screen on this. There we go. Okay, so there's saturation that's added to it. There's depth of field effect, and there's bloom. Basically, those three effects, if I remember correctly. Maybe there was more than that. I don't know. I'll let it play for a little bit. So, for those who aren't familiar with the game, the commands are available to the player are movement up, I won't say up, down, left, right, because we're in a three-dimensional world. North, south, west, east, okay? And there's flinging. Flinging, you hold down the shift key, and these little seek rays go. Alright, so that's the gist of it. I don't want to sit here watching a video of myself talking. It's like too much Inception for me. Old Unity. I have no idea why this project is deteriorating so bad, but I assume it's because of the upgrade. Okay. So things have to be here. There's a missing script. I have no idea what script that is. But importantly, there's a post-process layer script here. Yeah, I've just got color grading, which gives it high saturation. I've got the bloom, which makes this glowing effect around points in the scene that have got a higher light value, for lack of a more precise word. And depth of field, which makes things that are at a certain distance from the camera sharp, and things that are further away from it blurry. And actually if you think about it, it doesn't make anything sharp, it just blurs if you're further away from this maximum sharpness point. Okay. Do I need to install post-processing stack? I did in the old version. I'm just gonna see if it's there in this one. I'm guessing it will be. Post-processing. Cool. I mean, this is it. And it's got a nice little 2019.4 verified next to it, which is my version right now. And I'm going to install it. It also occurs to me that I might want to pretty up this level just a little bit, so that when I'm tweaking the post-processing, it'll be representative. And that'll be fun. Actually, I like doing a little bit of level design. But I won't work too hard at it, because this is a junk level. It's meant to be thrown away. It's actually called Delete Me 1. And the other levels that I made, I think there's maybe 5 of them that are reusable. Those ones I actually spent a fair amount of time. You know how you get gray hair like this? Well, I mean, while we're waiting for the acids to import, you get yourself some industrial strength glue and you put it in a shampoo bottle, and then the next morning you forget you put it in the shampoo bottle. You get it all in your hair, and your hands are like stuck in your hair, and then you just have like the strongest friend of yours that you know take your 2 arms and rip them off your head. And a bunch of hair will come off, and you will look fantastic. You'll look so good. Okay. That installed. Alright, let me pretty up the level. Things that are ugly. This floor here, it's not even like a good floor. Let me just delete it. Okay. That's a cube. That's not a proper prefab. So delete that. This will be a good test too of how my new level bounding system works when I just take the whole level and move it up a little bit. Oh man. Huh. Okay, so if I take this. Okay, there we go. Okay. I don't know why this bounding box isn't updating. So if I do organized scene, does that fix it? Oh, it does. Oh, it seems like it needs to be under level for it to update the bounding. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that was kind of junky. Get rid of that. It might be kind of fun to drag this all the way down to the bottom. Okay, so this thing I call the Stratostick, it helps me see where different textures are going to be applied automatically to walls and floors. So I can see that. Yeah, so to have this floor kind of have a nice floor look, I have to get it above this height. So I'll go ahead and do that. That's no problem. But let me get rid of some of these extra objects, and I'll just redo them. Let's clear decorations. Okay, cool. And then okay, so what if I switch to this mode? Nah, that's not the way to do it. You go like this. Okay. Then I go up. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. That should be plenty high enough. Okay. Then we'll take M. Don't want to lose M. My player object. Move her up. Then let's bring the floor up. So now that I've raised it to a better height, it's got the nice floor pattern. M is just a little bit too high here. Okay. Huh. This is a really simple pattern on this stick. Let me see if I can get a better pattern. Yes. Where's... Huh. Trying to figure out what I'm looking at. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't feel like playing with that right now. That seems like a tangent. Okay. But let me add that. Let's add are they working as expected? Dragging stick down. Not seeing basic patterns. Okay, so then let's go and decorate this by taking the operation zone and enlarging it. So the operations zone will. Oh, I don't want to decorate yet. Let me lay down some more stuff. I'll say this, it feels like something is dealing better with having more complex meshes in ProBuilder. I don't know what it is, if it's a new version of ProBuilder, or if it's a new version of Unity, or it's my new computer, but something is just performing a lot better than it used to. So I used to, after a bit, I would stop adding to one object because I didn't want the system to begin slowing down. And here I'm just kind of going for it and making one big stupid mesh. So much darkness. I will have to add lights. No question about that. So this is definitely a little tiny bit self-indulgent because this is a throwaway level. Like, there's no point in making it super beautiful. But I do want something that's a little bit representative because I gotta tweak with the post-processing settings. So let me add some stuff in that is, let's see. That will give some variety so I can see how the lighting plays off of it. So, for example, let's do some grates. Oh, it's too dark. I gotta get lights. I can't do any more work until there's light. Oh. Okay. The light is here. Let's bring the intensity down. And okay, so I'll put some of these in. Okay, over there it'll stay kind of dark over here. Let me get some lights that are multicolored just to have a good test. Why are you not showing? It's okay. That's kind of weird. Yeah, that's probably pretty close. This feels oversaturated, so let's calm that down a bit. Yeah, it's still... There we go. Okay, that's a pretty good variety of lighting. Okay, so let me add some grates, which are just fun. Alright. Is that lining up? Yeah, it is. Cool. Oops. It's just... Huh. Why is it not lining up? I'm confused. What? Oh, snapping. I didn't move it in all the directions apparently, and so it didn't snap on all of them. There. Okay, that's done. I get it. So if I move in just one direction, it's not going to snap all of them. But if it's going to do that, it is snapped. Okay. Alright, that's a fun little thing where I can walk out over a great height and look down. Okay, now I'm looking to add a little variety to what's shown here. Again, for judging the post-processing effect. So let's take the bonus, throw this out on the edge. Cool. And let's get some rails in there. There's another multiplier productivity argument that I should make some kind of tileable rails or auto tiling rails that just pick the right prefab to put in place based on neighboring rails. Okay. Just looking at the rest of my prefabs to kind of think like what else might be good for a visual sample. I'll stick some axles in. And let's throw one brawler up here. Alright. Oh, of course. The egg and the exit. So the egg, put down here. And the exit. Put here. Alright, this is kind of wasting a little bit of time, but it would be fun to come all the way up to the top, so I'm gonna add a few more stairs. Oh, and I remembered some other things that are important. Okay, so stairs, let's go. Yeah, the pillars. Pillars are a big deal as far as affecting the aesthetics. So if I go with a yeah, maybe ideally I would only have, dang it, something's off. Yeah, I'm dragging the offset instead of the, maybe ideally I would only have prefab lighting. So every time I add a light, it could be like something that emulated an actual light with a fixture, something that actually was a real world source of light emission. That might be a nice way to do it. Okay, so there's that one little one, and over here I'll put a big one. So we'll go 2x4. Okay. This giant lamp on top of it. Okay. So that's not bad. Now let's get the decorations on. So organize the scene. Okay. Operations on. I think on this side I want it to go down quite a bit, so I'm going to pull that down. That's pretty good. Save it. Decorate. Oh, there was some kind of error. $31. Oh. I think that's a bug I introduced and didn't check on. Okay. There we go. So it's taking a look at the kind of simple geometry of the level and adding more complexities to it, which I call decorations. Alright, definitely made it more complex. And some of them are not good additions, to be honest. Okay, but I've got pretty much the results I want. Now let me just fix this operation zone. What I can do is I can take this operation zone and use it like an eraser to remove decorations from places that shouldn't have them. Okay. I will say that my refresh rate is really slowed down. All those meshes there, all those tries. So there's definitely places here where I didn't need decorations. The outside of it, Man, that's so... Ugh. So I have this stupid problem where sometimes the selector will get like way the fuck off away from the actual object. So sometimes it goes by the pivot point and that gets it closer. I mean, sometimes it helps me to put it on pivot, sometimes it helps me to put it on center. Well, that's kind of irritating. Stop. Boy, that got painful when I add the decorations. Dang it. Like the frame rate is very slow. The scale of this operation zone is kind of driving me nuts. I'm trying to resize it, but it's just very unwieldy. Okay, so I need the operation zone to overlap these axles. Nope. Okay. That took forever. I need to just make this much smaller. If I can just get in closer, my frame rate should get better too. Okay. Okay. It's working pretty good as an eraser. Now that I've got it sized a little bit more reasonably, it's not bad. It was that long distance out view where so much needed to be included in the rendering that was slowing it down. So that's probably fixed. I could fix this square thing on top of there, but I'm not gonna. Anything else that looks terrible? No. It actually doesn't look bad even without the post-processing. Now that I have like decent lighting in there. Let's go ahead and save that. Okay. Does take quite a bit longer to save with the decorations, which suggests to me that when I'm doing level authoring, that I'll want to leave the decorations for absolute last. Like get everything working in the level and then add the decorations. Oh, that's interesting too. That play takes a long time to start. Okay, so I've not done anything with post-processing yet. Okay, let me undo. I'll do maximize so I can just see everything a little bit better. Basically, I want a good idea of what the before was in my mind. That doesn't look bad to me. I'm gonna make it better, but it doesn't look bad now. I like these axles. Threw myself down into this pit over here. Okay. So that's a lot of meshing around. Kind of interesting. Wouldn't mind later on doing like a decoration that hangs cables off the bottom instead of those pipes. I also really maxed the descenders on the decoration. The senders are these pipes that come all the way down. I wouldn't normally have the value set so high. It just happened to be there like that. Okay, so this lamp here, when I have post-processing with the bloom, it's going to glow. Wait a minute, I'm being a tiny bit self-indulgent here because I just haven't seen enough of the old game working again, so it's doing like nice things to my brain to see it looking like a regular game. But let's make it look better. Let's make it look even better. And that can be done with post-processing. Player can. I don't know why it retains this. I removed that a long time ago. Is it just going to stay there forever? Oh, that's probably it. Yeah, that was it. What if I just revert this? What if I just revert it? Oh! And this one too. Oh, it automatically looks better, and I just barely even did anything. Oh, I thought it was kind of gone. Okay. The other thing that I didn't really understand was what is okay, there's a bunch of stuff I don't understand actually. So I used to have an object which was just to define the area that the post-processing would be applied to. I didn't really like having it. I just kind of wanted it to apply to everything. Maybe there's a new option where I don't need it. I don't know. This is global. Yeah, that was it. So if I uncheck that, no, let's make it global. Okay, now this guy, TCP2 camera depth. What is that for? I've got it unchecked. I think it was for water. Pretty sure it was for water. I'm not sure if I'm even going to keep that. So let's say... Oh, wait a minute. What did I just do? Now the camera's way off over here? Okay, undo. What was the thing I removed? Let me see. Alright, let's just start with this and let's hit play and see what that looks like. Not seeing bloom. I think bloom needs to be re-enabled. I'm not seeing depth of field. So I don't think anything actually changed. Though it did seem to sort of smooth something out. Yeah, I feel like it hasn't changed in the ways I expect it to have changed. So not done yet. Yeah, the bloom applied to the trails is a really good effect once I get it going. Okay, these lights over here should also have bloom. Gives you an idea of the type of puzzles that will be possible with these axles. So you could maybe have a goal to move one axle in a certain way, but another one would block it. And you go over and see, okay, I have to move this, but maybe something else would be blocking it. Stuff like that. Also, they can be used as catch points for flinging, so if I've got that like that, I'm able to get caught when I fling, but if it's up like that, no, I don't get caught by it. So really looking forward to making some puzzles with those. Okay, I'm being self-indulgent again. Okay, why post-processing not being applied yet? I'm guessing I'll have to add some stuff here. Okay, what's this? Post-process volume script. And then there's overrides underneath. So what's all that? Okay, so I do have to add these back in. So let's just add them one by one. I want to do them in the same order. So depth of field. Okay. Focus distance 12. Aperture 10.4. Focal length. Oh, come on. 163.2. Max blur size. Large. Okay, that looks not great, but maybe with the follow it'll fix it a little bit. Let me try that. Okay, that's not bad. That's the original effect, I think. Yeah, okay, this is what I need. So, you see like the wall looming up on the left side. So, our eye will naturally focus on things that are closer to it. That's why this effect is so important, because the stuff up there is not important to us. I want as many cues as possible to bring your eye back to where the player is at. It helps that she's always in the middle of the screen. It helps that her hair is red. It's a reserved color for M, that she's in red. The exit is also red, but red's sort of like the color you're supposed to notice. But this thing of blurring out something that's really close to you, that's really important for the camera angle to work and not distracting you with things that are not actually likely that you're going to interact with them. Okay. And it also helps me for things that are far away as well. So it's helpful to have those things that are far down below be blurred out a little bit. Actually, they're blurred out quite a bit. That's fine. That's consistent with what I want the player to focus on. There. Next. What's the next one? Bloom. They say everybody's overusing it, but it's just so cool. On. Okay. Let me just uncheck that. No? Okay, cool. Let's just go add the next one too. Color grading. And we'll set the saturation. Let's see, mode, high definition range. Oh, options have changed. Oh wait, that's tone mapping. Let me get some advice. Unity, what color space should I use? So I don't have a realistic game. Okay, I'm not getting much. Oh, let's see. Okay. We just try it this way first. Saturation. Okay. So that might be all the effects. Let's try it. Oh, it's starting to look like my game. Okay, do I got some bloom? Got bloom? Looking for that bloom. Okay, I see it. I see the bloom. Okay, yeah. So, see those little blue lights there on the edge of the wall? They look like lights now. Okay. Oh, this makes me so much happier. Every time I notice something that seems wrong, I just want to add a quick note so I don't forget it. Bonus box. No particles? I thought I had particles. This is the look. This is what I was going for. Not that giant white over-intensified thing, but that can be fixed just by adjusting the lighting. This is looking pretty good. I mean, other people's opinions may vary, but for me, this looks pretty good. It gets me to that upscale indie quality I was after. Checking out the brawler up there. Let's go one place where I know it gets ugly. Huh. Curious why I didn't try to bring the camera underneath the arch. I'm not going to add that to my bug list because I know I have to redo all the camera movement and stuff anyways. Also, the problems with the clouds do not look nearly as worrisome when they're so blurred out like that. So when I get back to troubleshooting the clouds, I think I might disable the post-processing. This is a nice moment for me. You gotta understand that this thing was kind of like broken down for months, and it took me about a month to kind of repair everything. And there was like a bit of a block to it. Like, I would work on stuff in the level loader. I'll go to the level loader, you can see it. This thing here, or I'd work on the music, or I'd work on some of the story stuff. In part because I just did not have the gumption to come back to the broken old project and fix it. Because it's not as rewarding to go and just fix something that is broken that used to work much better. So now it gives me some energy back to see everything working again like I had it. And actually, I'm in a better place because I've got things like, like a proper loading scheme here, where the code that was kind of assuming that game start and level start were the same thing has been fixed. Okay, so it used to not be possible. Just saw another thing. Bright blue texture during level. Select. Okay. It used to be that I wouldn't be able to load another level without there being some problems. And now I can switch between scenes, and it works fine. That's something I never had in the old project because I just didn't know enough about Unity development to set it up the right way. So yeah. Anyways, I think this is a good point to end the stream. Thank you to anyone who joined me. I like to end on a good note, and this is a good note. Stopping the stream. Stopping the stream. Stopping the stream now.